Welcome to Conquer and Hold, a Riftbound podcast where every week we're going to be talking about the hottest news in the Riftbound community.
And then we also do live streaming at the People's Card Shop. Stream on Mondays. We do live commentary on the Nexus nights. And on today's episode, we're reviewing every single order card. And then also we are doing an Azir deck breakdown.
For the review, we're going to hit it at 1 through 5. 1, bulk. 2 will be niche cards. 3 are cards that you see in common decks all over the place. 4, a very strong card. And 5 will be a card that is broken or a for sure build around.
So the very first card we're going to talk about is the equipment card, Eye of the Herald. It is 1 energy, and it costs 1 recycle to attach to a unit. And it gives that unit the effect, when I move, play a 1 recruit unit token here.
I think this card is going to be, for me, a 4-star card. Every equipment does have a bunch of versatility. Being able to continually get recruits out of this and having it 1 mana means you can play it very early on.
Yep, definitely a solid card. I agree with the 4.
We have 2 mana Altar of Memories. When a friendly unit dies, you may exhaust me, draw 1 card, then put a card from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck.
I just don't think Altar of Memories is that powerful of a card. I like the cycling of it all, but 2 mana just to cycle every turn isn't strong. It's not really card advantage. It's more of like card selection. So right now it doesn't really have a home, and even if it did have a home, it doesn't seem like it would be that powerful of a card. It's probably just going to be a 2 for me, with the potential of maybe there's the upside of it being better.
I agree. Pretty niche. It goes neg 1 and just cycles. 2-star.
All right, next we have Blood Money. It's a 2 energy spell. Action, kill a unit at a battlefield with 2 might or less. If it was an enemy unit, play gold gear token exhausted. If it was a friendly unit, play 2 gold gear tokens exhausted.
I like that it's an action, but because of its mana cost and small range of targets, I do have to give it a 2. It's like Gust, but 1 more mana, and it hits less things. Gust already feels a little niche at times, that when you're trying to hit certain bigger units, it doesn't feel good to have in your deck. Coming into a meta where people are equipping things constantly, it's just going to be niche.
Yeah, it's really niche. I think it's pretty good in the side deck for decks that have like little small units, but everything right now in this format is just a little too big, especially with equipment.
2 mana, Bonds of Strength, reaction. This has a new keyword called Repeat. Repeat, you can pay the additional cost, and you can use the spell's effect again. Give 2 friendly units each 1 might each, and you could do it twice.
So I think all the repeat spells have to be at least looked at for a little bit, because the best things about them is you can use them early game, but then also their mana sinks late game, being able to reuse their effects, double up on it. However, my issue with Bonds of Strength is I think it's too little of effect for what it does. Just a plus 1 on 2 units is just an okay card. For 4 mana, giving +2/+2 is strong, but I don't know if it's going to find a home in your 40 cards. What do you think?
Yeah, even for the 4 mana getting +2/+2, I don't like that it has to be 2 separate units. That's my big gripe.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have Death Grip. It's a reaction spell. Kill a friendly unit. Give might equal to its might to another friendly unit this turn. Draw 1.
I really like this card, and it's one of the reasons I want to play Azir. I'm going to give it a 4-star. Being able to kill a unit and draw 1 card, but transfer its battle power onto something else. It's versatile in the way of when you're in a battle and your opponent tries to ping something down, like with Kaisa spells, you can transfer that might that would have died to the spell to a different unit, draw a card, and still have the winning amount of might. Or when you push in a creature with an equipment, you can kill it yourself. And equipment, the only way to get them off of a creature is if they die. So if you kill it yourself, you get to get the equipment back to your base, transfer that might to another unit, then re-equip the equipment onto whatever you want. And it gives you a lot of versatility in these equipment decks, being able to dodge spells and also reattach your equipment.
Yep, and I think one of the most important parts about Death Grip, it's like one of these like final last stand cards where you act like the final turn you activate it, and it's going to be really good for a game push, because it's like a pseudo accelerate. You know, you summon a guy into base, you pay 2 mana, pop it, put all the might on the unit, and that's going to be your final conquer. So it doesn't matter if the unit dies. So it's really good for like a game shot type thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same spot either.
Mhm.
Honest Broker, 2 might, 2 mana, Death Knell, play a gold gear token exhausted.
So I would just have to rate it like either a high 2 or a low 3. It's not going to be this card that's like meta defining, but when it's good, you're going to put it in your deck. It's a 2-drop with an upside, solid card, nothing crazy to write about.
Yep, I like all the 2-drops just being able to be played.
Next, we have Rally the Troops. It's an action. When a friendly unit is played this turn, buff it, then draw 1 card.
I do like that it just draws 1 card. If they didn't draw a card, I'd like it less. Just having 2 mana, no power pip to draw a card. For me specifically, I'd give this a 3. To get good use of it, I want at least 2 buffs or 3 buffs on a card. If I can only summon 1 card or even 2 cards alongside this, you're spending 6 mana, 2 2-drops with this, you're getting 2 buffs and drawing 1 card. You feel a little weak that turn, but when you have more mana in the late game and you can play 3 2-drops along with this, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's solid. It's just one of those cards where in a deck where you maximize it, it's going to be really strong, but right now it doesn't seem like there's many homes for Rally the Troops.
Sacred Shears, 2 mana, 1 power pip. Equipment, Death Knell, draw 1 and +1 might.
Yeah, so I'm going to say it. Every single equipment, from at least my point of view, is at least going to be a 3 because just equipments in general are just so powerful because they let you turn your kind of your middling little units that you use in the early game into more relevant threats, and that's a lot easier to use when you transition from like the early to mid game. But I really enjoy Sacred Shears just because the Death Knell draw 1. One of the big things that yellow decks don't have is a consistent draw engine or a way to constantly refill. So I think Sacred Shears does that. It sucks that, there's a 1 power pip on the initial 2 up front, but I think once it's in play, it's going to you're going to reap all the benefits of just drawing a card over and over and over again. So I think it's a solid card. It's definitely a 3, maybe a 4, but most likely just a 3.
Yeah, I give it a 3. I like how it fixes the yellow problem of the card draw.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have Trusty Ramhound. It's a 2-cost Demacian Elite Dog. And it's while you have a unit here, I have +1, and it is a 2 might unit.
I'm just going to give it 3 off the bat because it is a 2-drop with an upside. 2-drops that have 2 might are just basically played in a lot of decks right now in the meta. In the future, I don't know how that's going to be, but being able to play on turn 1 your Ramhound, push into an area, and then drop another card next to it to make it a 2/3 makes it pretty strong. On the bad side, though, it is weak into spell removal decks because if you lose the sidekick that's next to you, you are losing that 1 might. So not only is you're losing a card, he is going down to 2 again, and that could lose you a couple of trades.
Mm-hmm.
Unsung Hero, 2 mana, 2 might, Death Knell. If I was Mighty, draw 2 cards. Mighty is when you have 5 might.
So I think Unsung Hero is it's the classic 2-drop with an upside. The upside, you have to jump through a hoop, but the hoop is, once you get there, it's pretty insane, drawing 2. And just like decks with like Fiora that revolve around getting Mighty, or any deck with just equipment, I think Unsung Hero can definitely be like this early game / late game thing that is just applies pressure. So I definitely want to give it a 3 with the potential of being more equipments, more buff cards coming in. How do you feel about it?
I initially thought it was trash.
Yeah.
Until I realized that you can have multiple equipments on 1 card. So the problem with that is it was hard to get her Mighty, but now that we know that you can have multiple equipment on 1 card, it's not as hard anymore to get her Mighty because you can use 2 equipments together to boost her up.
Yeah. And then the thing about it is you don't have to do it immediately. You can just play her and then next turn get her Mighty. So then over a course of 2 turns, you can set it up, which is really strong.
Blade of the Ruined King, 3 mana, 1 power pip. Equip, you have to kill a friendly unit, but you get a whopping +4 might.
I want to say this card is going to be a 4 or like a 3, mainly just because in the decks it's in, it's going to be really, really, really good. But the problem is you have to find a deck that, one, doesn't care about popping your creatures, whether it's going to be because it's a token or because it's like a death knell, you getting a positive effect. It's up in the air, but we can't deny that +4 is it's crazy. 4 is in itself is already just a mid-game creature. So having that constantly just buffing up your creatures is going to be real good. How do you feel about it?
What I don't like about it is every time you equip it, you have to kill a friendly unit. So it's a constant, you have to kill something. But in the future, if we get really good death knells, then those death knells are constantly going to be, you want to pop them. I do think it's a 3-star because the 4 might is pretty crazy. But if you're not a token deck, it's hard to constantly equip.
Yes, that's true. Next, we have Fiora, which is a new leader, but also she has a new champion unit. It is a 3-cost, 3 might. When a unit you control becomes mighty, you may pay 1 order rune to ready it. And yeah, how do you feel about it?
I'm really excited for Fiora. I think she is 5 stars. Having no power pip on your champion unit is nice because you just play them out the zone for free. But that ability is crazy. It gives everything pseudo accelerate. Most things getting attached with one weapon, you can automatically accelerate it. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do in the late game. It even synergizes with the unsung hero, being able to equip her.
That's a sick, nasty combo. That's
equip her with a couple of things, push those in, immediately get to draw those 2 cards. But when those weapons fall off, you get to attach them to different units. And if those units become mighty and you have the mana to recycle, you can then activate Fiora's effect again and then push those in. So as long as you're pushing in a couple units, you're just giving them all accelerate.
Yeah, and honestly, accelerate or readied units is the most powerful thing you could be doing, at least right now in Riftbound. And I think Fiora does something a lot of cards just don't do. So this is a card that I think everyone needs to at least look out for, or at least be prepared that this is in the meta.
Do you think it's a 5 or a 4?
I think it's a 5. You definitely build your deck around it, but also other decks besides just the Fiora deck could potentially play this card.
Yeah. Also,
so I think it's solid.
That art's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, we have Guards. It's a 3 energy card. It's a hidden, and it says play a 2 might Sand Soldier unit token. You may pay 1 order rune to ready it.
2-star in anything, but 3-star in Azir because you just want a bunch of Sand Soldiers. You're trying to find ways to get Sand Soldiers. I do like that it's a hidden because in Azir specifically, when you pop open the hide, you get the Sand Soldier, but as Weapon Master, so you get to equip a weapon to it automatically in that showdown. Mm-hmm. So within Azir, being able to...
It's like a little battle trick.
Yeah, battle trick. You can attach the Blade of the Rune King to it. It could be 6 might right off of nothing.
that is pretty nasty. Yeah, I agree. Definitely to everything about it. It's just not that powerful in other decks, but in a deck where you can abuse the Sand Soldiers, you want it.
We have Xin Zhao, 3 mana, 1 power pit for 4 might. Tank, I enter ready if you have 2 or more other units in your base.
Okay, so I think this is 4 stars, arguably 5 stars, because this card is just overstated. It's a 3-cost for 4. It has Tank, which is a good ability, and it does one of the best things you can do in this game, which is just ready yourself. And right now it might not have a home, but it does everything you want in like the yellow decks, where it kind of like pressures early game, but also if you're playing like a slower control yellow deck, you can also just use it as like a way to like kill a bunch of creatures, clear up the board and stuff like that. So I definitely think it's a 4 or a 5-star. I want to say 5-star. I'm a big fan of this card.
Okay. I do like how it has premium stats, having the 4 might for 3. It's pretty rough to get around.
Next, we have Zon Punk. It's a 3-cost unit, might 3. You may kill a friendly gear as an additional cost. When you play me, if you pay the additional cost, you can kill a gear.
I think it's 3-star. It's a good tech card for decks that can utilize it. If you're making a lot of gold tokens or you have gears you don't care about anymore, you get a body plus removal. The bad thing about it is you can only do it on your turn, so it's kind of limited in its scope. But being able to get a body and disrupt an opponent's Aurora at the same time is nice.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm a type of guy who likes looking into the future for cards. So I think Zon Punk is like a card that it's going to get better, because if you look at it, it says kill a gear, for the second effect, so it doesn't even mean it needs to kill your opponent's gear. So if there's like for some reason a deck where you just want to constantly just pop your own gears, Zon Punk is an enabler for that. So I think that's like an
True.
interesting thing to look at.
I never thought about that. Azir, 4 mana, 4 might, no power pip. Accelerate. When I attack, you may move any number of your token units to his battlefield.
5 stars. If I could say 7 or 6 or 8, I would. This guy is like the reason why the Azir deck is even remotely playable. It's a battle trick in itself. It's an accelerate. You can play it slow even. You don't need to summon. You don't need to accelerate. You can literally play it on turn 2 for 4 mana, and then next turn just summon infinite tokens and then rush in, and it's almost like you did the same thing. So this card is amazing as a champion unit and also just really good in just token-centric strategies. What people can't forget is it's just token units. So it's not just sand soldiers. It's recruits, it's sprite tokens, it's anything.
And any future tokens. Maybe there's like one card that makes like a 5 might token or something crazy.
And then Azir just becomes a house because of it.
Thinking back to Arise, it's kind of a nice play that you play the Arise, get the Accelerate Weapon Master, push them in somewhere, and then your Azir goes somewhere else, and then they can attack to another place. So you have so much agency as Azir because not only do your tokens have Weapon Master, but some of your abilities let you accelerate those tokens, and Azir also lets you move them around. It's pretty cool.
A lot of tricky stuff. All right, we have Boyfriend Sword or BF Sword. It's a 4 energy cost equipment, 1 yellow pip to equip it, and just plus 3 stats.
I'm pretty down on this. I think it's a 2, but the more that I think about it in Azir having Weapon Master to be able to attach it on really quick is nice. 4 mana for 3 might, it's pretty rough. But even when we think about the Fiora deck, having the 3 might in order to turn a lot of units mighty in order to ready them
Turns
is
most
cool
2 drops
too.
into a mighty.
That, especially that other one that, what's it called? I forgot. It's the two. It gets mighty and then it draws 2 card, but you can attach the BF sword to that 2 drop. It's mighty. Send it in, trade, get a draw out of it. You know?
Yeah. I think it's just the bare minimum what a weapon could be to be good. It provides stats, and it's not a huge commitment. Just 1 energy pip. It's solid.
So I think it's a 3.
Yep. Then we have Laurent Duelist, a 4 energy unit, 3 might, assault 2.
He can duel all the other bulk in my backpack because I'm never playing him. I think he's a 1-star.
So the one thing that Michael did bring up about Laurent Duelist before is Laurent Duelist is a card that constantly will trigger Fiora's ability. So that's something that is kind of cool, but there's probably 50 other cards that do it better.
It's like you push him in, he gets mighty, he readies, but then he's at that battlefield, so you can move him back though. So if you're constantly able to take these fights where 5 wins, he can push in, get 5 win, and then pull out, and then you don't have to worry about him getting killed because he's only 3 might. So that's cool. But in my bag he goes.
Yep. A little too long for a comment. What's next?
Renata Glask, 4 mana, 1 power pip, 4 might. Your tokens enter ready.
I think this is a 5-star where you just have to build your deck around it. It does something that not many cards do, which is just put cards readied in, and it's just really powerful. Being a 4-drop, properly statted at 4 might is also really good. Just being able to put them on curve. I think it's a solid unit that most token decks would want to play in their deck.
Yeah, I love Renata. I'm going to give her a 5. I think she's pretty nutty.
Next, we have Royal Guard, a 4 energy, 2 might unit. When you play me, play a 2 might Sand Soldier unit token here.
I think he's 3-star in Azir. I like how it's split up into 2 different bodies so you can get them ready on your second turn and then push into 2 different battlefields if you would like to. And just getting Sand Soldiers in Azir is nice. In anything else, I'd give it a 2.
Yep, I agree.
Soraka, 4 mana, 1 power pip, 4 might. I must be assigned combat damage last. If another unit you control here would die, if it has less might than me, instead heal it, exhaust it, and put it back into your base.
I want to say it's a 4-star unit, mainly because it's cheap. It's a 4-cost unit, properly statted 4. It has like reverse tank, which is like really strong. and most importantly, like it makes your go wide decks like really, really, really strong, and it makes it to where yellow has even more survivability. So I think this is one of these other cards where, because it's a champion unit, all it could ever do is get better once the new legend comes out. So I'm just gonna say it's a 4 for right now.
I'm really high on this card. I think it's a 5, especially in the Fiora deck, because it's so close to being mighty that you put any card in it and it gets mighty. So you can have Fiora and your big board ready to attack. You play Soraka, attach your weapon, ready her, and giving her the weapon, you can, be able to attack immediately, but it makes her effect even better because now her might is stronger. So you can push everyone in, all your little guys die, they recall back into base, but then Soraka stays. The other cool thing about that is when all of your units go back to base, they're free from being able to be conquered next turn, like hiding from a watcher or something like that.
And then also you can do crazy stuff. Like you can go Soraka with a bunch of tokens trade a bunch, tokens come back, and then now you go Azir, slam in, and then all your tokens are still alive. So you can do crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. Drag Under. 5 mana, 1 power pip action. I cost 2 less if it's played from anywhere other than your hand. Kill a unit at a battlefield.
So I think it's a 2, but then I'm hella biased because I love Lux. That deck is super fun. So that's a buff for Lux because the other kill a unit at a battlefield was a 6 cost. So it just being a little cheaper is solid. But it's just there. It just kills a unit. It doesn't really do much.
Yeah, I give it a 2 or a 1. It's cool in Lux, and it's cool in Rek'Sai too, because when Rek'Sai looks at it,
you can pay for 3.
You can
instead.
pay for it instead.
Nice.
But it's just a little too gimmicky.
All right, next we have Glass Mixologist. It is a 5 energy, 1 power pip, 5 might, death knell. You may pay unit with cost no more than 3 and no more than 1 recycle from your trash, ignoring its cost.
I think it is a 3-star in baited hook decks that you are already using the matron in order to summon stuff from your graveyard. Having 6 copies of the same effect is just what you want to be consistent, and the matron will trade up into him. So it's just a line of just trading up and getting stuff back from your grave.
Yep, I agree.
Rek'Sai, 5 mana, 1 power pip, 5 might. When I attack, you can reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play one, then recycle the rest. If the played card is a unit, you may play it to where Rek'Sai is attacking.
So I'm actually not that high on this card. I think it's like a 3, maybe even a 4. It's really, really good, but my biggest issue is one of these magical Christmas land cards where when you want to do what it does, it's probably the craziest thing you can be doing in Riftbound, but then how do you control the top of your deck? You know what I mean? That's the biggest one. Just get good. But one of the things I really do like about Rek'Sai is it gives it like pseudo accelerate. So that's really strong, but it's just one of those things where it's like we have to find the correct way to build it, I guess, where it's like, should we focus on early drops or should we focus on trying to summon big creatures off the top of our decks?
I think it's a 4. I would give it less, but because it gives the pseudo accelerate of the unit that comes with her, I give it a 4. If it didn't do that, I give it a 3.
Also, just being a champion unit just helps with a lot of these numbers because you just have access to Rek'Sai whenever you want. Next, we have Sand Shifter, 5 energy, 2 power pips, 6 might. When you play me, kill an enemy unit with 3 energy or less.
3 stars. It's a really good tech piece. And normally with tech pieces, they have like trash bodies, but it's for 5 mana. It does have 6 might. So not only are you removing a piece that is crucial for your opponent, say they're playing a deck that for some reason is all revolved around Heimerdinger or something with 3 might, this targets that deck specifically in the future as well. And you get to build a strong body on board at the same time.
Yep. I think it's solid. It's going to be like a tech card. Maybe a card that they play in baited hook decks because it's the 6 might is just really accessible, Distribute a 5, summon a 6, boom, pop a card.
Okay, we got the Benefactor. When I hold, play 2 gold gear tokens here, exhausted.
So this is going to be a 1. This could literally summon 4 gold gear tokens exhausted, and I don't know how I'd really feel about it. It's understated. I feel like this card was probably a lot more broken when the devs made it, but it got a little too nuts, and now it's understated and has like a weak effect.
Yeah, the effect, it's too hard. Like when you hold with the 5 might for 6 mana, and then the effect isn't even great.
Yeah, Ari is a 5 mana 4 might, and she has a 10 times better effect when she holds.
She gives you a point, right?
Yeah, she gives you an extra
Yeah.
point. Yeah, yeah.
I want one
I'd
more
rather have a
point
point
instead
over
of
2 gold gear tokens.
Okay, Under Titan. 6 mana, 1 power pip, 5 might. When you play him, you give your other units +2 might this turn. If he's revealed from the top of your deck, you get +2 mana this turn.
I want to rate this card as a 4. I think this card is really good. It takes up the spot like Grand Stratagem would take in a lot of like baited hook decks and stuff like that because it's just another creature and it's like this end game threat. Summon it +2 to everything. Alpha strike in. But what I really like is in decks like with baited hook is reveals the top 5, and you only have 36, 34 cards left in your deck after you draw your opening hand. But every time you reveal Under Titan off of a baited hook, you get the +2 mana. So then it could potentially like let you swarm the board really, really hard. So I like that about Under Titan.
Yeah, I do like how in baited hook decks you get to basically run a Grand Stratagem that is good when you see it.
That you can summon it, and also when you whiff off of it off of a baited hook, it has an effect. So I think this card is just all upsides for baited
4
hook.
stars as well. So we have 7 mana, 1 power pip, 6 might. Accelerate. When I move to a battlefield, I play 3 1 might recruit tokens there.
Okay. So I think this is kind of like the yellow Watcher that they were trying to do, but I don't think it's as powerful as Watcher. It's hard to be as good as Watcher because that card is literally the stones. But I want to give this card a 4, but it's going to be a low 4 solely because I think in most token decks, Azir does what Karina wants to do, but a little bit better. But in a more generic deck where you just need a little more of a top end accelerate, I can see where Karina has a space. It's no sense a bad card, but as of right now, I don't know what needs a yellow accelerate that summons 3 tokens when a lot of decks could just play Watcher or a lot more powerful accelerates.
I'll give it a 3 just because I think 3 recruits is just too little.
Too little, yeah. 7 mana for 9.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah. I could definitely see him doing more.
Okay, so we have the Armory, 7 mana, 1 might. Tap it to play 3 recruit tokens here.
All right, so this is going to be a
Or
hot...
actually, not here, anywhere.
Anywhere. And you could do it one in one battlefield, one in another battlefield, one in the base. So it's real tricky what you can do. But this card is 5 stars for me. I know that's a little hot take, but I'm a big yellow enjoyer. And one of my favorite parts about Vanguard Armory is once you play this card, as long as it doesn't get destroyed for the rest of the game, you never have to pay mana to summon creatures again. And it's one of these things where it's like, after maybe 2 or 3 turns, it's already paid for itself in spades. It is a little overcosted, but I think it's one of these build around me cards that has a lot of potential.
I'm going to
disagree.
Make you a little mad. No. I'm going to say 2 stars. But definitely game 1, it's really strong, but in follow-up games, it's weaker. So maybe it's like that type of card where it's in your deck game 1, and then you take it out. So if your opponent did side in removal, then they're kind of wasting slots. And, this is like a card you can easily take out and put in your tech pieces instead.
Yeah, the biggest thing about Vanguard Armory is in blue-yellow decks, Jace is a 4 mana, character, 4 might, and his effect is pop a gear to summon any gear with that's 7 or less with like 1 energy. So then it's literally 4 Vanguard Armory, but being able to play Vanguard Armory on turn 2 is kind of nuts.
In that situation, it's 6 stars because it's crazy. But who knows how often that happens.
Who knows? Yeah. I'm just a Lux believer. Trove Golem. It's a 8 energy, 2 yellow power pips, 9 might. When you play me, play 4 gold gear tokens exhausted.
2 stars, maybe 3. I like the 9 might for the 8 power unit. The 2 power pips does put you behind a little bit, but he does, give you 4 power pips in the form of gold tokens.
We just need big creatures, so I'm glad it's here.
Garen Aurora's back. Okay, that was all of the order cards ranked. So now what we're going to do is we looked at a couple of topping deck lists in China, and we have some interesting things for Azir. In our last video, we talked about how, Kaisa and Annie were still, going strong, but in each of these big local events, Azir was, in the top. So we're going to take a look at this top 7 deck list here for Azir. Azir's ability is that your Sand Soldiers have a Weapon Master, so when they come onto the battlefield for 1 power less, you can equip a weapon on your battlefield to them. You can also take them from a different unit, so if it's attached onto a different unit, you can take it up. His tap ability is 1 mana. You can play a 2 mana Sand Soldier to the base if you play an equipment this turn.
So the cool thing about Azir is Azir basically turns your 1 mana gear equipment into just basically 2 drops. Arguably better 2 drops than what is readily available right now, because it turns a Sand Soldier into summon 1 recruit every time he moves, or it's just going to be a 3 tank, which is nothing to scoff at.
So on turn 1, you're looking for Doran Shield or Arrow the Herald, but later on you have these other gears as well. You have your Brutalizer, which the turn that it is equipped, it gets +2, so it's +3 might, which is a lot. And if you're using it to trade, it's really cool.
Especially when you use the tokens, you can break a lot of boards with it.
And the BF Sword is just a constant +3 might, which is, just put them on your soldiers.
So an interesting card that it was played in the deck was Apprentice Smith. When I move, reveal a top card of your main deck. If it's a gear, draw it. Otherwise, recycle it. So like how we said, they don't play that many 2 drops because the one gears replace it. But then we need something that we could just summon to circumvent not having a 2 drop. Apprentice Smith fulfills that role. Just draws a card, adds equipment. I think it's a card that, for as long as equipment decks are real, we should keep looking at it because it's just a draw engine.
Then we just have the classic green spells. You have Defy and Discipline to protect your battle tricks.
Yep, and the reason why I think the deck is so good, it kind of uses the strengths of both decks, which is green's kind of like protective nature and like trickiness of it, and then yellow's go wide strategy. So, summon a bunch of tokens, buff them up, go into battle. Hopefully you're going to come out as the victor.
And here's a Rise, which is Azir's signature spell. Play a 2 might sand token or Sand Soldier token for each equipment that you control, and you get to ready 2 of them.
Yep.
But if you have a 0 on the board,
you got to go in
all of them.
Yeah, you got to go in, conquer something else, go in with the Azir. Those guys come back with other tokens. It's a lot of might.
Okay. The other deck list, it's only in like a 10 participant kind of event, or 9. But Azir got first. It's instead of playing these green classic spells, they focused on Renata in order to pump as many tokens as you can, give them equipments because they have Spellmaster and Weapon Master, and then they get to attack immediately. This is a really cool, very aggressive variant. I'll be trying out both for sure.
Shurima.
And that is it. We're at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. We are going to be live at the People's Card Shop for doing locals Monday night, so be sure to check it out. I'm Michael.
I'm Ed. If you guys have any comments, just comment here. Let us know what cards you're excited for in Spirit Forge and what you want us to talk about. Thank you.
What's your favorite order card?